Alright YouTube, it's time to talk about the future of this platform because unfortunately YouTube is, it's dying. You may not see it quite yet, but the algorithmic manipulation going on, the filtered search results, the notification throttling, it all points to YouTube sanitizing its platform. Because YouTube's actual money comes from independent content creators, when it inevitably pisses enough of them off and they begin leaving, it's going to leave a massive fiscal vacuum. Other people won't get paid, they will in turn leave, and it will enter a death spiral. Now, I say this as someone who loves YouTube. I love using this site. I've been using it for almost a decade. I've made a huge amount of content here. I like uploading content, I like watching content, and I think YouTube is a force for good in the world. I don't want to see it destroyed. I also don't want to leave YouTube. But it's getting to the point where the people running YouTube apparently don't have that level of nobility regarding their own platform. There's more loyalty to YouTube in the creator base than there is among YouTube's staff and CEO, apparently. And that's becoming a problem. YouTube has begun throttling notifications, including for comments now. It wasn't before. Before it was notifications for uploads. Now it's throttling notifications for comments and responses to comments. It's fiddling around with our subscription list. It's either not serving us material from people we're subscribed to, or it's serving us material from those we haven't subscribed to. It's set this restricted mode up so that anyone watching on a TV for the most part, and anyone who's watching not logged in, isn't even seeing most of the content on YouTube. They're seeing corporate content only. And that's what it really is about. This is being caused because corporate media and corporate entertainment has started streaming now on YouTube for $35 a month, and because corporations complained about AdSense and started withdrawing from YouTube. That's why this is being caused. It's all about money. We need to understand, first and foremost, we can't boil this down to politics, society. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do solely with money. What YouTube doesn't realize is that all of that money is coming from independent creators of content. If it weren't for us on this platform generating that revenue in one form or another, either by adding to the bulk of the site or by using AdSense, others do the latter, I do the former. If it weren't for that, YouTube would not exist. It would not be solvent, it would not be important. Some other site would host that style of content. YouTube would be nothing more than a streaming news and entertainment bundle. That's first and foremost. Now, my suggestion for how to solve this problem is very simple. Paul Joseph Watson comes out and says, oh, my last video, and it's a little clickbait, but he goes on to explain it. And I don't dislike him, by the way. I'm subscribed to his channel. I'm a fan of his. Comes out and says, oh, I think they're censoring right-wing content. I respectfully disagree. They're censoring any political content because corporate news comes in both left and right flavors. And none of them want to compete with independent content creators. That's why they're censoring all of our material. Your videos are largely unavailable when the filtered mode is turned on. My videos are largely unavailable when restricted mode is turned on. Sargon's videos are unavailable. But then again, do you find it odd for a moment? Do you really think that it's about PewDiePie supposedly making political comments that all of his videos are blocked? No, it's not. It's because entertainment is part of that corporate bundle too. They're making gaming videos too. They're making TV shows. They're entertaining people. We're talking HBO and all these groups. They don't want to have to compete with PewDiePie. They don't want to have to compete with John Tron. It doesn't matter if they delve into politics. And I would say to all major content creators on YouTube, you think you're going to be sheltered from the fallout from this just because you don't talk about politics? Because you're politically correct and G-rated? And you don't do anything wrong? Bullcrap. You're going to get filtered too over time. As YouTube realizes that these larger firms are capable of pumping them more full of money because they intend, here's the big secret, they intend to replace television. And they need a platform to do that. What's the only company with the setup necessary to do that? It's YouTube. That's what they're planning to do. But I suggest that why don't they form their own streaming bundle and use a different website and leave YouTube alone? That would be my suggestion. We still have a chance over the next near future. We have a chance to stop this from happening. To show Google we're displeased enough that we're going to take our business elsewhere. There are various ways to do that. There are other sites available. Go on VidMe. I'm already there. Varg just moved there earlier. Other people I'm sure will. Minds.com is now the new Facebook. You should get an account there. You should close your Facebook account. I'm probably going to close mine in the near future because I'm tired of Mark Zuckerberg. I'm tired of the censorship. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the data mining, honestly. I'm just going to use Minds.com at some point in the future. I just got to move some stuff there. My suggestion to major content creators is simple. To anyone who makes content at all, my suggestion is you speak out against what's happening on YouTube. Because eventually, if enough people do that, Google will listen. My suggestion to major content creators is twofold. First, tell your subscribers just what I'm telling them now, to speak out against it. Secondly, you speak out against it, because people will listen to you if you say this on your videos, and they'll replicate that behavior ad nauseum. There'll be millions of people making videos like this. This even extends to the very top of YouTube. I'm not just talking about, oh, you have, slightly right-wing, edgy content, you should speak out against this. No, I'm saying everybody. Every YouTuber, every single person, it doesn't matter if you're political or not. You're going to get affected too. Your ad revenue will dry up. I assure you that bad times are to come if this continues. It's not going to matter whether you talk about politics. You can sanitize your material all you want. You can sit there and literally praise the glories of political correctness all day, and YouTube's not going to spare you when those corporations come calling because they're tired of competing with your content. That's going to become the new problem of YouTube. It's not just going to be, first they'll come for people who talk about politics, then they'll come for the entertainers, then they'll come for the fashion channels, essentially. And they'll move on through and through. They'll go after the educational channels. They'll go after people who have, like, fringe content. They'll go after this conspiracy theorists. Then they'll go after people who just make random content because they'll have a random content TV show. That's what they're going to try to do. And my other suggestion for larger content creators is perhaps a novel one. Have we considered the possibility that the way YouTube and all of these other social media sites are set up is ripe for the picking as far as bolstering our own content? Have we considered the vague possibility of forming an alliance which simply takes the form of encouraging all of our fans on every platform to cross-subscribe and like and follow and so forth on every other major social media and hosting platform, along with, in some cases, people's personal websites? I'd be willing to do that. You get on board with me, I will tell my subscribers that it is my wish that they follow your material too. And you do the same for me and anybody else who climbs on board. And we can do that continuously. YouTube is going to be far more reluctant to try to censor somebody's content if they have 1 million subscribers as opposed to somebody who has 100,000 subscribers, essentially. And if they get up into the tens of millions, as some people climbing on board such an arrangement probably would. Molyneux, he'd probably be well over 1 million, probably hit 2-3 million. Sargon, yeah, he'd probably have 1 million subscribers. Some of us that are at, like, 100,000 would probably have 500,000. People who have like 10-20,000 subscribers would easily get within the 6-figure range. We'd have far more collective power. It would get us more attention, and that would give us the bully pulpit to speak out against this issue even more. And that's the point. We have to activate this right now. We don't have that much time the way YouTube is currently formatting things. Now, there's still the last great hope, which is that Google will realize that this is unpopular, and it will rescind much of it, and things will go back to normal. I hope that that happens. I really, really do. I hope that they can coordinate between the desires of cable news services and corporates that feed AdSense and the regular user base with or without AdSense. I hope that they can have a conciliatory situation where both sides are capable of being, properly cared for and continuing to use YouTube for their various purposes. But if that doesn't happen, it'll be because we've failed. Because we haven't spoken out enough. We got complacent and just saw YouTube as nothing more than a place to plop videos without any further ramifications. And we just sort of stayed separate and never, spoke out when, one person was being targeted over others. I'm willing to speak out on behalf of those that I totally disagree with. This is hitting leftist channels too. It's like that one communist, I can't remember his username. He'd probably get on board with such a thing. He's going to be censored too. He's a communist. Not libertarian. He's not on the right. He talks about politics. What about people who don't talk about politics? They're being censored too right now. Some of these channels that have been largely blocked have nothing to do with social commentary. There's nothing remotely edgy about them. Some of them haven't even been caught up in any controversy. Some of them weren't even talked about by the corporate media as in, oh, well, this person, Nazi dog whistle or something like that. Some of these people were utterly unaffected. They're still blocked. It has nothing to do with a person's perceived or real political affiliations. It is everybody on the platform that potentially is affected by this. except, of course, the channels of big corporate entities. They're unscathed. They've got the money. They've gotten a guarantor from YouTube that they'll be left alone. Why shouldn't we be left alone? We're driving more revenue than they are in every possible way. All that remains is for us to speak out, ask our subscribers to speak out, ask our fans on every other platform to speak out, and begin probably backing up your material in case we fail. And again, it would be very helpful, I think, if we got together, those of us who have significant fan bases, if we got together, spoke with one another, and dreamed up some sort of syndicate system whereby we can simply encourage our users, our various fan bases, to support all of the other channels in such an arrangement. Again, regardless of content, it doesn't matter if it's political. You know, it can start out that way. Oh, you know, we're a group of people who cover politics. We don't want censorship because we think it's unfair and it's unhelpful and we should be able to speak freely and compete fairly with the corporate media. And start that way, but it'd have to go beyond that. It'd have to involve basically all of the main entertainment figures on YouTube, even political figures. Why don't we lean on politicians on this too? Have them, I don't know, have them declare it a public work. Say, oh, well, it's going to be protected now because it's too intrinsic to the public welfare because it's such a juggernaut of public information or something like that. It's full of educational content. You can't censor it. I'm not seriously suggesting that, but you get the basic idea. Why aren't we leaning on Google more? I see relatively few people outside of some political ideologies speaking about this. I see a handful of right-wing political YouTubers speaking out against this, and nobody else even talking about it. But they're all going to suffer if this continues. It's not just going to be, you know, oh, well, yeah, my view count declined by 10%. Oh, my subscriber growth is slowed down. No, it's going to be more like YouTube might decide you're totally expendable because some corporation's tired of competing with you and decided to completely lock you out of the system. So I suggest that you have other backup options available. I'm using VidMe. I've submitted this on my official Twitter. I've put it on the official Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description here. To others, I would suggest major content creators consider moving all of your content to another site as well. Don't just have it on YouTube and be a YouTuber, because we can't necessarily count on that continuing to work in the future. You need to make content against this. We need to stand up against attempts to censor our content. These aren't coming from YouTube. It's not like YouTube got up one day and said, oh, you know what we want to do? We want to piss off most of the content creators on YouTube. They're being leaned on by corporations we have to push back. It's a bunch of corporate news entities leaning on them. By the way, you think far-left mini-corps like the Young Turks will be unscathed? No, I don't think so. I think they'll get knocked right off of YouTube under this current ethos. So it behooves us all. It's in our best interest to organize against this as quickly as possible. Any major content creators that wish to coordinate further, message me, comment, message the Facebook page, I don't know, send me a tweet. I don't really know how Twitter works though, so that's probably a bad idea. Use the Facebook page if you got Facebook. Use YouTube, send a message, comment here. I'll try to pin it if I see it. Although I may not get a notification for it. It's getting harder and harder to do that. You gotta speak out against this stuff. YouTube is intrinsic to the free world itself. Not just for, my right-wing ideologies. I want to be able to look up left-wing material too if I have the mind to do so. I may no longer be able to do that because YouTube's going to be a ghost town. I don't want YouTube to fail. I want it to do well because I'm a YouTuber. I never wanted to be anything but a YouTuber. I didn't want to have a Facebook page. I didn't want to have a Twitter handle. I certainly didn't want to have to sit there for hours and hours re-downloading my own content to move it to VidMe. Now I got verified there. I got like almost 200 followers there. It's pretty good for such a much smaller platform. But join me there anyway, because there may come a time in the future where YouTube is no longer creator friendly, and it's getting more and more like that, and I hope that it is reversed. I hope Google will reconsider what it's putting in its restricted mode. I hope Google will reconsider tampering with its TOS. I hope they alleviate the TOS further. I don't care if people do drugs on YouTube. I don't care if people put risque content or graphic violence on YouTube. We're adults. We can handle it. Yes, we're mature. We're capable of dealing with it. Who cares if it's not advertiser friendly? Let people who are taking AdSense be advertiser friendly. If they have a mind to sign up, let them abide by those additional TOS. Do whatever you want with them. The rest of us don't care about that stuff. I don't take AdSense. As far as I know, probably a minuscule proportion of those that follow me here probably take AdSense. If you do, my suggestion is you don't do that anymore if your content is anything but totally G-rated and apolitical. So that's what I have to say. Now the ball is in other people's courts. I'm speaking out here. This is my contribution. Other people now need to do their part if they care about YouTube at all. Because it wouldn't be just my channel you're losing, by the way, if YouTube suddenly collapses in on itself because they pissed off every content creator on the platform. You're a fan of PewDiePie? He wouldn't be there anymore. You think he's going to stand for that? He'll move elsewhere. He's got enough fans to do that. Sargon? Yeah, he's gone. Varg? He's gone. Everyone's gone. Rebel Media's gone. The Young Turks are gone. Every communist you listen to, they're all gone. They either don't upload content and they just sort of watch what's left, or they don't even have a channel anymore. That's what YouTube could devolve into, and I don't want to see that happen. I'm totally addicted to YouTube. Google's trying to wean me off my crack addiction, even though I'm making the money in the process of getting my crack addiction on. What are they thinking? That's about all. Peace out.